You're very welcome to this up and around trad climbing routes guide. The Roaches is a Gritstone Crag not far from the town of Leek in Staffordshire, and it consists of two levels, the upper and lower tiers. This crag is probably one of the most popular of the western Gritstone edges, with routes to suit all abilities. It has easy access and good parking, but only park in the marked bays as you may be ticketed if you don't. The upper tier is home to the infamous Sloth and Pedestal route, along with Muads Garden, Damascus Crag, Inverted Staircase, Beckermet Slab and Heather Slab. The lower tier is home to Chalckstom and the amazing Valkarie and Contrary Mary. The Don Willans Memorial Hut is also on the lower tier and is available for hire should you want to extend your visit. All of these and more routes are available on this channel. This guide covers the upper tier right area of the Roaches in the Staffordshire Peak District. Rotunda Gully, a beginner's climb going up and a dodgy descent route for the more experienced. Rotunda Buttress, up the crack to the bold finish, up the block to the top. Bachelor's Buttress, if you're a bachelor this route is for you, a choice of 2 exits. Only risk takers should do this one. Gypfest, low in the grade but an interesting problem over the triangular overhang. Saw's Crack, a jamfest up the groove. Try not to leave your gear behind and place your gear with care. Humdinger, up the narrow buttress to the roof where the vertically challenged may struggle, then wander across to finish up Jeffcoats. Jeffcoats Chimney Variations, up the wall to the hollybush and then right up the corner to the exit. Jeffcoats Chimney, a good old classic V-diff chimney climb, then left to pass the overhangers to the exit. Jeffcoats Buttress, a tough start up the polished scoop, then progress up the groove and past the left of the roof, then move right and jam to the exit. Hanging around, up the large tough bulges leads to an easier Jeffcoats exit. Ruby Tuesday, up over the overhang to briefly join Black and Tans before moving left across and up to the exposed rounded rib. Hollybush Crack, bridge up through the hollybush to the crack, then up the crack to the left of the large roof and choose your exit. Technical Slab, not very technical, straight up the poorly protected slab then left and up to the finish on either of the Hollybush Crack exits. Pedestal Route, a chance to see the Sloth up close on this expedition, up to the right of the pedestal or to the left for a severe foray, then traverse left and up to again finish on either of the Hollybush Crack exits. Black and Tans Variations, bold and technical up a direct line to the groove, then up and finish through the bulge and up the pillar. Black and Tans, up the left of the Hollybush Gully, then across and up before mantle shelving across to ascend up the groove to 3 more poorly protected mantles, finally get to the exit. Black Velvet, up the left of Hollybush Gully to the groove, then ascend avoiding the overhangs to finish up the crack. Diamond Wednesday, up the Hollybush Crack to the arete past the overhang to get to the exposed rib. Avoid the holds for other routes. Guilted, an outing for the extremists. Starting up Hollybush Crack, turn right at the bottom left edge of the roof and do extreme things to get to the top. I understand this is high on the adrenaline curve. Painted Rumour, if you have any adrenaline left you might want to use it on this one. Up Technical Crack to the roof and keep going. Probably the best roof route on Gritstone. The Sloth. Don Willans said, "It isn't as hard as it looks once you take it on. Make sure you place a big sling on the massive spike of the cheese block and keep your feet on the rock. I have a few videos of this route on the channel which may or may not help you." Loculus Lie. Wander up and shake hands with the Sloth before wandering off left back to the Painted Rumour's little cave. Then finish up as per that route. New Finale. If Loculus Lie wasn't enough for you, try turning right and get a grip of this E6 5B 2-star route. Centre Route. More difficult for shorter folk. This slab has poor protection before moving right to the crest of the buttress. You can exit from here or continue to the top by moving left and up the crack. Right Route. Start up the polished pockets to the flake, then move around the route to the left to complete the same exit as Central Route. Right route right. Start up the polished pockets to the flake, then move around the roof to the overhanging groove to complete the same exit as Central Route. Kelly's Shelf. Climb up to the narrow ramp across the face, then work your way across in as gaily a manner as you can accomplish, before finishing up the crack. Kelly's Direct. Climb up to the start of the narrow ramp, then move up and right using the pockets and up onto the crest. Skin and Wishbones. Up the left hand side of the roof, and up as before on Kelly's Shelf. Paralogism. Climb up under the left side of the buttress, then right across the lip to exit up the slabby rock. Antithesis. Traverse the right hand edge of the wall to the left to finish up the arete, then exit up the slabby rock. Bed of Nails. Around the back of the buttress, cross the wall to the diagonal crack and go up to the left to finish. Easy Gully Wall. Up the block then left to the ledge, then up and left to the next ledge, before exiting left up the flake and left to the overhangs. Jelly roll. A strenuous thin crack leads to the bulge. Go over this to the crack, then up to the roof. Move around this to the left and finish up the corner. Roscoe's wall. Up the centre of the wall to the flake, then right up the steep face to the ledges. Could lead on to round table. Climb the wide crack to the left, then up right to exit. Crack in corner. Another trip across the rock face here. Up the tough crack to the ledge, which is followed left before moving up the block to the groove. Then a final overhang with massive jugs. Babacombe Lee. Up the crack to the buttress, then right up the buttress, finishing up the crack and bulge at the top. Hangman's crack. Move up the wide flake crack in the roof and wiggle up to the finish. Scarlet wall. Climb the bulge into the crack and up to the ledge. Climb boldly upright to the capping bulge, then go left to exit. War wound. Climb the wall to the ledge and then move left to the arete. Left hand route. Lay back up the left edge of the roof, then head up right to the crack through the final overhang. Right hand route. Lay back up the crack to the ledge or use the easy right hand ascent. Once you reach the crack, follow it up through the overhang. Gully wall. Ascend the path of the flakes on the right wall. Grilled fingers. Go straight up the centre of the blocky gully sidewall and exit over the mantle. The rib. Climb the right hand edge of the gully if you need to. Starting higher in the gully avoids the initial bulges. Rib wall. Up the wall to the ledge, then left and up to the top. Sparkle. Go boldly up the direct line and give a sparkling smile at the top. Sign of the times. Up the wall to the left of the crack, climb to the thin flake and finish straight up. Calcutta crack. It's a tricky crack, but somebody has to do it. If it's you and you're tall, you should manage it. Mistral. Up the steep wall with good finger moves. These are important if you want to succeed. Calcutta buttress. Climb the buttress left of the arete. Move left and up into the break before moving up right to the overhang, then left up the overhang to the finish. Gentix. Up across the roof, then up the right hand side of the arete to the finish. Stop. Carry on. Up the scoop line on the right hand side of the buttress. Uella spit. Sepaisi. I found it over there, facing towards Hen Cloud. If you can find it, climb it and let me know how you got on in the comments. Watch out for the next part of this guide, which is coming soon. We don't want you to miss out, so please subscribe and press the notifying thumbs up buttons.